Zendaya details how she experienced heat stroke while filming Dune Part 2. I had such a fear of peeing myself. Dune Part 2 star Zendaya explains how she experienced heat stroke while filming the acclaimed sci-fi blockbuster. Directed by Denis Villeneuve, who also directed 2021's Dune, the sequel hit theaters earlier this year, following Timothée Chalamet's Paul Atreides, as he becomes a leader of the Fremen on Arrakis. Dune Part 2 reviews were overwhelmingly positive, with particular praise levied at Zendaya's performance as Chani, Paul's Fremen lover. Though Zendaya was a highlight of the film, she now reveals that filming the movie in the deserts of Jordan came with some challenges. In a recent interview with TV magazine, the actor reveals that she got heat stroke during filming because she wasn't drinking enough water. Zendaya explains that she was trying to avoid having to use the bathroom, which is quite an ordeal while wearing a stillsuit costume. Check out Zendaya's recollection of the experience below. We were in Jordan. It was very hot, and I remember thinking, oh man, the bathrooms are so far away, because we had to hike to the locations. If you have to pee, you need at least 10 minutes to get out of the costumes. I was like, damn, I don't want to drink too much water. I had such a fear of peeing myself or shedding myself, honestly, in the suit on set. One day, I didn't drink enough and I had a heat stroke. I felt so barfy. I remember calling my mom on the bathroom floor, saying, I feel terrible. She was like, did you drink water today? I said no. I thought I was being smart, but you can't do that. So, lesson learned. What filming in Jordan meant for Dune, Part 2. Filming in an actual desert obviously brought with it a number of challenges, but it clearly also benefited Dune, Part 2. As with the first installment, Villeneuve's depiction of the planet of Arrakis is a major strength of the movie, and it just wouldn't have looked the same had they shot it in front of a green screen. Dune, Part 2's desert filming made Arrakis feel like a real place, and this is undoubtedly part of the reason why the sequel has a 92% critics score and 95% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes. Much of Dune, Part 2's runtime is spent in the desert, and it's here where Paul and Chani's love develops, and where Paul truly becomes a Freeman. The desert, however, isn't just a passive setting in the movie, and the challenges of living in such a place play a role in the narrative, particularly the sandworms and the lack of water. Filming in the real deserts of Jordan evidently helped to make this environment feel both beautiful and inhospitable. Our take on Zendaya's heat stroke experience making Dune, Part 2. The Dune, Part 2 ending focuses in on Chani and her rage at Paul's betrayal, and it's clear that she will play an important role in the announced Dune, Part 3. The third film is currently in the script stage and is tentatively expected to hit theaters in December 2026, but it wouldn't be surprising if it ends up being pushed back into 2027. In any case, Zendaya will certainly be reprising her role, and audiences can expect some friction between Chani and Paul in the next installment. Dune, Part 3 will be adapting the events of Frank Herbert's Dune, Messiah, which picks up the story after a 12-year time jump. Even though Zendaya was evidently struggling during the making of the sequel, it clearly didn't affect her performance. Chani ultimately becomes one of the most memorable parts of the movie, and it will be exciting to see how her story unfolds in Dune, Part 3. Thankfully, it also sounds like Zendaya will be staying properly hydrated during any desert filming for the follow-up to Dune, Part 2.